This is my Oculus Quest 2. I believe I did another video. I think I uploaded it already and maybe sharing it in the same place of unboxing. This is my Oculus Quest 2, and this is my little area, my little home. And this is the recliner, and I just wanted to kind of say what I've learned so far and what I learned about playing in a small space. So let's go over it real quick. I am typically here. Got lots of space for my feet, but here is the computer desk. I'm a photographer working on Lightroom. I push it in, touching it here a little bit. Obviously, I'm very close over here. Here's the charger for the Oculus with my controller sitting right here. That would be the closest thing over here. So, but obviously I can turn to the side and I've got a little more space, a little more space. So what you may or may not know, depending on your level of Oculus Questness, is the space that you need. You can draw a boundary on the floor and it has to be, I don't know, like 4 or 5 feet big. I actually have never played that way. I've always done the stationary method where you put the circle and actually it extends about, it's not even that far. So, I mean, you can do things past the circle, but it really puts you in a pretty tight circle. Again, over here is the issue. Now, what I have noticed, and there will be no gameplay footage necessary of the Oculus, it's kind of me chatting about the experience in real life, I guess, semi-real life, I don't know. The other thing that I'll do is do a stationary standing right here. What I like doing is up against something so that there's some things I'm getting my legs for and I can't move side to side as much. And in this case, I have quite a bit of movement everywhere except here. So you got a game where you are throwing something, reaching up high. It doesn't quite work. I mean, a Beat Saber game will work just fine. Lots of space. So if I'm not feeling too lazy, not sitting, Oculus is great for fitness type stuff as well, and that's awesome. And I will do those things. You go inside the house, which, basically right there. But I'm traveling and I'm in this a lot, so this is the situation. So, and then the third, I guess I could also do this right here. I'd have a lot of front movement, but the side, not quite as much. And the third thing is here back in the bed. Let's jump back up in. Okay, so I'm sitting down here. These two corners are a little close, but really, when I do the circle, it barely just touches there. Otherwise, I have plenty here and plenty here. So I've played some with sitting in this spot, and it's actually been, I mean, with a few more inches, it's total amount of room that you would ever want. And even throwing, I guess, wouldn't be too bad. I mean, you don't really need to reach up too high. Anyway, that's the situation. So standing, you know what? I was actually, I mean, I've only gotten bought two games. I've tried some of the free ones, but Beat Saber, obviously. I feel like I wish I had a little bit, because you got these little sabers, right? So boom, boom. I gotta remember to push the chair all the way in, and then I'll have a decent amount of room. I feel like a lot of the times you do better in Beat Saber if you put a lot more energy and movement into it than sitting here, because obviously I've got a limited movement. And the other game is Onward, which I wanted to try out a shooting military sort of game. There are certain things like grabbing from your tool belt that you have to get from. And then if you're sitting, I don't know if there's a way around this, but it thinks that you're crouched, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how to run. I just couldn't until I stood up and played this way, and then it all made sense. I guess I was crouching the entire time when I was playing it before. So that's the situation. Playing inside of a smaller area, definitely doable. I have not, I mean, I've tapped some things. The chair, if I don't push it all the way in, I'll tap that decent amount. I'm pretty aware of my surroundings, and, I don't necessarily just all of a sudden forget. If I'm sitting, this is the issue. If I'm standing, then the ceiling is the issue. Um, and if I'm over there, then it's just that's really not too problematic over there. But also, I don't know if it considers me standing or sitting when I'm over there, because obviously I am higher, and I could set the floor. So when you create the boundary thing, um, that's a lot of the time you're having to do boundaries, right? And I wish I could do some of the, wasn't too lazy, and I did, added in some of the video in there. The other, so I could show you the experience of having to create the boundaries all the time. I've gotten fast at it. It's not too bad. It's pretty good. Battery life. Okay, so what are some of my other thoughts? We're not even a week into it. Battery life is an issue. I thought, 2 hours is plenty. And I don't even know if it's always 2 hours. I haven't timed it, but someone said it was 2 hours. It doesn't really seem like 2 hours. Now, I could sit here and play it. Maybe I would want a somewhat longer cord. I have another cord over in here that's long, and it's coming from the correct side, which makes a big difference, where that is not the correct side over here, because it's on this. So let's say I'm sitting here, then it's on the opposite side of the charging. And so that's annoying to me. I guess I could plug it in somewhere else, though, obviously, on that side. And it would be fine, but I haven't gotten around to that. So I also put this spacer in. I do not have glasses, but I found it to be better. I don't know what that means about my eyes or about whatever. I don't know what that means. Head strap, I didn't think it was an issue. I didn't mind it at all. It's easy to adjust here and back here. Now it annoys me, and I want to get a better one. So I'm looking for better ones, and I noticed that on Amazon, a lot of the stuff is for the original Oculus. There are like little foam inserts, and I don't know what really is the best. I did one round of research. The other thing is definitely get some microfiber cloths. Get a few, because those are easy to lose and get really dirty. Because if you slide this onto your head, then your hair gets it, all dirty, and it just constantly cleaning. Well, not constantly, just like every day. Just wipe it off really fast, obviously. I've been good at using microfibers, not necessarily my shirt, but I changed that, and I don't know, like, if you're going to use it a lot, and I've watched a lot of videos too, like even TV shows, and I'm going to watch some of those movies, the 3D movies that you can rent, look amazing. I'm excited for that experience. And maybe there's a better, more cushiony thing here too. So, definitely looking into that. I mean, that just goes to show that it's been a really great experience. I do have a conference coming up. I'll likely be giving a presentation, but I'll be watching presentations. And so therefore, that's many hours in this, all like constantly hours, like not just these days, like I'll put it on for a little bit, take it off, several times in a day, perhaps. But that conference may require some extra comfort. So I'm going to use a little bit more, get used to it, and then research, hopefully, to find some good recommendations for better comfort on the straps. It's good, especially since most people will just jump in and out. And I think it made sense for them to come with this easy, non-breakable, generic system. But if you're going to do it a lot, then I think we look towards a non-generic system a little bit better. I don't know why I was better with it with the glasses extender plugged in here. Also, I ended up getting the 256 because the 64 wasn't available on Amazon, and I thought, well, okay, let's give it a shot. See if I like it. I don't know. I didn't know what kind of downloading requirements were needed. Okay? But I've come to this conclusion. For over 90% of the population, 64 gigabytes is probably just fine. You could download so many games, more games than you would really want to spend money on, and 64 will be fine. I think if you are planning on, if you have an outside source of downloading VR content or video, or you want to watch movies that aren't even VR in this, and you're just going to download those videos, then maybe the 256. I haven't done the screen recording or even plugged it into the computer yet. Both of those things I haven't done. But perhaps if you're recording onto the Oculus Prime, maybe the 256 is going to come in handy. And maybe if you're getting really large videos from the PC, but I mean, the largest videos I've seen is 2. And there's been some apps, because there's some free games. So I've downloaded all of the free stuff. Most every app that's free, and there's a lot of video apps that don't require a lot, but there are a few games, and when you download them, it's a decent amount. Like I'm barely up to 20, if 20, and I 20, and that's with me going in and looking for the video content and finding some really cool travel type content, and some of them allow you to download a high version into cache. And I think that just means download, right? And they were 1 gigabyte, and I did that on a few of them. So, I mean, some of those videos are larger than the games themselves. But the other thing I wanted to say, and that maybe relates, I haven't downloaded a lot of apps. I haven't paid for many apps, just the 2, Beat Saber and Onward. But I wanted to say, I think in the last video I said I got this already. I thought about waiting till Black Friday, but when I did the research, everyone I saw was saying these will not be discounted on Black Friday. They're too new, too popular, and the stock isn't that heavy, like they're running out to some extent, or maybe just delayed and fulfilling. So why would they want to put a discount on it? What I think they're going to do, and I think they announced that they're going to do a Black Friday sale on some games. So I'm actually somewhat waiting to see if there's anything I want to get. I will be around family in Thanksgiving, and then another part of my family in Christmas for a little while. So I'm looking at games perhaps that will entertain multiple people. I think that'll be fun. And then, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I think that's basically what I was going to say. I know that they came out with an update called version 23. We're on 21. There is no 22. So 23 comes out, but it's a rolling update. I haven't got it yet. But it makes 90 hertz default. So motion sickness, I haven't really experienced it much. I have noticed that in one VR reality thing, where we're doing the conference, that they kind of drop you into a new world, or wherever your room is or your chat, and they kind of drop you there, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? That's kind of crazy. Even the roller coaster thing hasn't been too bad on me, and I get sick on regular roller coasters, but I think it's because they let you shoot things while you're on your roller coaster, so I haven't really paid attention to the actual dips. But I know that they say that the 90 hertz will impact that. But that doesn't mean that most of the apps are going to have 90 hertz anytime soon, because they just came up with the update. So hopefully they all do. I know when you're turning in some of these things, it's a jump turn. And I believe they do that so that you don't get sick. So you don't have those issues. So if you're you do that a lot on PC gaming or whatever, you kind of turn gradual. And you can move side to side while turning, So I did turn that on. I hated the jump thing for experience. For instance, that shooting thing. But I did feel the impacts. I didn't necessarily get sick, but I could see where you could get it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how 90 hertz will improve that experience. Otherwise, like what Beat Saber and all those other things, they don't really impact you much, right? So there is a free game called Echo VR. It's kind of like more like a sports game. Not really doable in any of these situations. So if we're talking about small limited space, there are some games that are not doable. Onward, doable. I mean, it's not optimal, but doable. Echo VR, not doable, really, sitting down or anything to that effect. Well, I mean, Onward's not doable sitting down. It kind of is, just can't run. But like stationary sort of thing, without being able to turn around, Echo VR was not. I love the video stuff. I watch a lot of the videos, maybe more than the gaming. And what else do I have to say about it? Looking forward to... This is awesome. And I hope that, I'm actually kind of happy I wasn't around in the first and obsessed or enjoy, like really into it the first several years of VR, because now they've come so far and I didn't have to go through all that. I don't know. I like that aspect that I could jump in now, and maybe with the Quest 2 and hopefully a lot of people getting it, there's going to be a lot of quick and fun development. And I do look forward to having friends on, being able to meet up with them, maybe watch movies. I actually thought about, like, if there's a friend I really want to watch one of those 3D awesome new release movies, it's kind of expensive. The $4.99 to rent, as far as I could tell. And then we'd both have to do it, but that's cheaper than going to a movie. But it's kind of fun. You get to sit right next to the people. And you can like chat during the movies, if that's your thing, I guess. Or you can watch TV, and there's all sorts of fun things you can do. I know this isn't super exciting, but these are my thoughts on about 1 week of ownership of the Oculus Quest and living in a small quarters and being able to do it pretty easily. So there you go, and talk to you later. Well, let's see if we could do this. Well, this is me sitting in my recliner. Not much else to say. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of things. It looks great. I don't know how to compare it to the resolution of the Quest 1. But the Quest 2 has some great resolutions. It's fun looking around. Obviously, you could see the cord here. If it was longer, probably wouldn't be as big of a deal. And we're outside next to the house. We're not necessarily that close to Wi-Fi, and my cell phone has a hard time sitting in this chair getting Wi-Fi from the house, but the Quest gets it. And I don't think I can really stream like a heavy internet streaming game, but a lot of these don't require heavy internet except on install. They require internet, most of them, but not heavy internet except for on install. But there are some where if you're playing multiplayer, it does require, and it's not really quite good enough. But if you're watching a video, downloading something, downloading even a 2 gigabyte game, it's getting the Wi-Fi pretty well. So that's another plus. Better than my Samsung Note 9. So that's my thoughts on that. And I can hotspot from my Samsung, in fact. And keep in mind, we are in kind of a metal shell. This is an Airstream, an old 63 Airstream. There you go. That's the thoughts. Great system. I'm going to recommend this to a lot of people and hopefully get some friends on here to do things with me.